Welcome to this ocean resin art tutorial. My name is Michelle Tracy. I'm starting today by mixing some Jetio light plaster into some water. This is to build up my rock formation. And I like to let the plaster sit in the cup for a while to harden up. When it starts to harden, that's when I start spreading it. Otherwise, it's just that sloppy consistency. And once I do that, I've got to work so quickly because it's dry within minutes. Here I am applying some acrylic washes. I'm just watering down the acrylic paint quite a bit, just using a grey and a black mix and some metallic gold. I did let the plaster dry for about 3 days before I even attempted to apply the acrylic paint, just so that it was completely dry in the centre of the plaster. I'm now adding some thicker white paint just for the highlights, and that way, because I will be applying some silver leaf in a moment, so that way the silver leaf has something to stick to, and there's some silver also going on. The silver leaf is simply just sticking to the wet paint, and this is kind of like my real highlighted areas, and it kind of can appear like even it's a bit wet, like the rocks are watery, because it's that kind of shimmery look. I suppose silver leaf and gold leaf can be a bit of an acquired taste. I like it because it's kind of like magical and it's just a bit different. It doesn't necessarily have to be total realistic. Okay, it's now time to pour my resin. Today I'm using art resin because it's non-toxic, and I actually I live out in my workspace. I'm basically in my dining room filming, so it's important to me not to have all those fumes and smells. Right about now I realised that my resin's kind of thick. I did give it a warm bath because it was freezing temperatures overnight, and it was 45 minutes before I actually started mixing the resin, and then I let the cup sit for 15 minutes to thicken, which is a bit too long in the cooler climate. But that's okay, I can use my heat gun and blowtorch to heat the resin up to thin it out a bit, and the white's already thick enough so I can start pouring straight away. I have my heat gun set to a high speed and about a medium temperature. I could have stopped here, but I just like to be a little different. I'm adding some silver metallic acrylic paint, just smearing it over my painting and dropping it in, dabbing it on, and just moving it around in sort of swirly motions. This is just to create a bit of an interest, and maybe there's some sea stuff floating around in the ocean. It's just traditional artists might not like it. They might think, what am I doing? I've just ruined my beautiful resin art. But I'm not really traditionalist. I started out as a fantasy artist, so my imagination just goes a bit crazy sometimes. I guess you either like it or you don't. What do you think? Yay or nay? And we are done. I remove that blue painter's tape around the edges first thing in the morning. I'll use a heat gun first to heat it up, and makes it so much easier removing it once that resin softens a bit by the heat. And thank you again so much for watching. My name's Michelle Tracy, and I'll see you next time.